Though I really should look at the alternate racial traits because I know there's a couple of them that are fun. Also, I got my first. Go ahead.
I need that other book, but it's still not free yet.
Which other book?
That one that just came out 2 or 3
Talking about?
months ago.
Oh, the last book?
Yeah.
Galaxy Exploration, right? Maybe not. A-I-Z. Oh.
Because I got the Galaxy Exploration manual.
So it's not that one. Oh no, hang on. He's about to get back on. We'll find out. It's been a while since I've looked at the computer from this angle. I actually decided I was tired enough I wanted to sit.
So I know Sean has the hard copy of it.
Well, as soon as Jester gets on, we'll ask him if he remembers what the last book was.
What?
What was the last book that got released by Paizo?
Ports of Call, I think.
Ah, that's the one. Rule books. I know we're only like 2 days away from the new book being available for download.
Give the word for the countdown.
Word. Did everybody else use the bathroom that needed to?
The dog
Sounds like a yes.
moment.
Good dog.
Hola, welcome to Freewheel Station. Here on Monday nights, we get like maybe a previously on Freewheel Station. We get like the moment we get like a cut of like the moment on the half planet in a like where the party is shooting it out with a group of is shooting it out with a group of like bounty hunters, and we see Clutchell run in and take a couple of shots, realize that our people are getting owned, and run out. And then we see like a bit of the conversation with like we see a bit of like we see like the sort of like some of the conversations you guys had on the freewheel station before leaving off again, like maybe some stuff with uh with god damn it, Colovian,
Yeah,
and maybe
Colovian.
some stuff where you guys were
Nimbus.
having a conversation, Ninvis, and some conversations where you guys had a
The
conversation with each
Thrawn.
other, where you guys talk to each other a little bit too, and then we get like the conversation with Tyrus Skilled in his office, and we get you guys running away on the ship the first time, and then we get like the fight in the perfume R&D lab, and we get like that moment where like the guy, the one like Clutchell goes down, and the one bounty hunter's like, everybody calm the fuck down. This doesn't need to go any further. We can all just walk out of here with our lives, and try to cut a deal. And then we say Kib, we get that one shot of Kib saying, "Nope, fuck them. They all die." And then we see this guy shoot Gormy straight through the throat as she's laying on the ground, obviously in bad shape, uh, executing her. And then we see like the shot, a bit of, the firefight. And then we see Kib executing Clutchell on the ground. And we see like the sort of scramble, and we get a bit of like the conversation between Scorf Shorthorn, the Tiefling boss, the Tiefling Grimbuckle Syndicate boss for the Veskarium, talking to Fellup. And we see the like sort of that interplay back and forth over like percentages and terms of and whatnot. And we get that moment of like he's a bit of an outcast. In fact, they call him a heretic, and we kind of like get then we go cut to like we go to black, and we cut to the big title opening. We get the drage system with the three planets and their moons, and we get like the star in the back, or the drage star in the background, and we get like the shot of like the freewheel station hanging like a wheel in space, and there's some ships coming and going, and the camera pans underneath it, and we see the wrench that is welded into the corner where it's been, where somebody obviously used it to like hold something together and just welded it in there. Um, and we come out on the other side and we get the big title card, Freewheel Station, and we get a shot of you guys sort of landing your shuttle landing in the city of the town of Forget, like sort of on the outskirts of the town of Forget on Vesk 7. So basically, we get the shuttle is landing. There's a lot of snow and like ice and rugged terrain, and the title card says Vesk 7. You know, um, outside of the city limits of Forget, and kind of as we land. And what are you guys doing? Like when the camera cuts to you in the shuttle, what are you guys doing before you disembark? Or is that just the shot that we get as we get like jump directly from the landing to you guys disembarking? What does that look like? Are you guys doing
I'm gonna
something
say,
first?
I assume I'm on the science station while Kib is landing and piloting down. He
Yeah.
has a knack for it.
Uh-huh.
I'm barely keeping up with his ability.
All right. Yeah.
Um, but I'm going through the effort of trying to maintain the local infosphere and pull the information that we're going to need from it. Like, I'm looking for both people that were after Clutchell.
Well, Clutchell you guys killed.
No, not Clutchell. Damn it. The person that has the information we need about the list.
He's in the Verilax Concordance.
That's right. So when I look him up, he's not there at all.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh yeah, the Verilax Concordance. We're looking for the guy that can help bring Gormy back.
You're looking for the heretic.
That's right. He goes by the Heretic.
That's what he's known by. He's a Dralic.
Right. So let's check the local version of what they'd call, or what we'd call TikTok. See if we can find him there.
Wheel. Give me a computer skill.
Very well. I have those abilities. No, 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 no. Not that I can find me right now. Computers. Well, let me try something better than that. That's not much better than that. But it is over a 15.
To use your culture check here, you're going to have to actually get out and go into Forget.
Then that's what we'll do to use culture. But
Okay.
if it didn't count in here, after we land, I go, Kib, this infosphere is ridiculous. You give it a shot.
Right. What am I plugging it? All right. I'm just going to plug away at the computer and see what I find.
Yeah, just plunk away at the computer. Yeah!
So all you spelled deceive so wrong, dude.
Don't judge my spelling. I
No,
know
it's
exactly
Deceive.
No,
Deceive.
that is so wrong spelling, and I am going to give you crap about it.
That's all right. I suck at spelling.
That's what Google is for. You ask Google.
But Okay, so what you find is there isn't really that much of an infosphere here. What does exist is predominantly military. There is some like map, like there's like a map of Forget that you can pull up, but it's not like it's labeled this is where the guy lives or anything like that. But you can find like a couple of like the general store and like the local bar and a few other places of note. But as
He didn't
far
register where he lives.
well, Forget doesn't exactly work like that. Um, like what you do, what you kind of are gathering from your computer's check here is that Forget, and there are two places on Vesk 7 that are civilized. One is the actual military Vesk outpost, and you can pick up a lot of the stuff from it, but all of that stuff is like secure military grade secured channels and stuff like or like net, bits and stuff, sites and what have you. Forget itself doesn't have like a regular thing. From what you get of Forget is that this is where and you would this is one thing that you were actually told, Philip, is that Scorf actually told you is Forget is a place where all the people in the Veskarium who want to be overlooked for whatever reason of their past go to. So they don't particularly because they kind of want to be forgotten by the Viscarium, and there is a military outpost here. Most of these people keep a relatively low profile on what infosphere there is. Like there's a few things here and there, like the local doctor has a site up so that people know that he's there, where but it seems like it's a barely maintained site. It's there probably for new people who show up, but for new people, not, when they get there more than anything. Um, Maybe the local watering hole has its own website, has its own site, but other than that, there's like a community board where like citizens post about various problems and issues that are facing the community. Whether it's like wild creatures, attacking, or Cathoma visitors, or you know, military patrols from the Vesk outpost, or fixing damage from local ice storms and things like that. Um, you know, so there's a number of like uh people who have posted on it, like, oh, the wall on the south, the wall in the south sector needs repair. And then somebody else might post like with a date of like 2 days later or something, a date of like, like a date of like 2 days later. Hey, I went and worked on the south wall and I got this much of it done. Sort of like it functions as like sort of a community board of where they kind of like figure out what needs to be done, and people volunteer to do different things or what have you. But it doesn't seem like it's particularly organized in terms of like the way you would expect a city, regular city, to be organized. Um, so there's a good deal, like there's a basic like map, but it's from of Forget, but but it comes from like the military outposts, like information sites, where they're like, hey, welcome to Vesk 7. These are the things that you can expect here to freeze your ass off. Who did you piss off? These are the civilized fucking places that exist here. Outside of these two places, there's nowhere to go, kind of shit. Here's a map. If you ever decide to go to Forget, so you're not entirely certain um, how well maintained that is. I mean, it's a vast area military thing, so you can assume that most of it's current, but it's not like they have street addresses for people listed anywhere.
Well, it's broad statements, but what are we looking for? I forgot. You were wanting me to look for some. I don't know. I just punched some random things into the computer and got some results. It's kind of vague.
Besides, Besides, you didn't get the guy's actual name. You just know that he's called the Heretic.
I think we should probably have to go in and do some culture checks. But this will probably actually be a decent place to look for people for Lichdom Incorporated too.
If you're gonna spend a week, if you're gonna spend a week here, you can do the recruiting.
Hmm. Hey, so does that mean since the doctor is part of our little group, we can use him as our corporate person?
No.
I tried. So, Scott, it's going to be a straight diplomacy check.
Right. We should do
You
well
can do
on
it.
that.
Well, I got one.
All right. Cool.
All
So
right,
you're
let me
gonna
put
spend
that down.
So you're gonna spend a week here then?
Yeah, we're going to spend a week here, not only looking for him, but also doing our recruiting. After Scott fails completely on the first week.
So,
Let me see. So that'll just be a follower, I believe.
but you can make a culture check. It'll take the culture check itself is going to take a couple of days.
Of course.
Yeah, I can't do culture. Culture.
No, you can't. Save changes. All right, and I'll do another culture check now that we've been out here for days and days. I've been learning while it's happening. Let's see what I've learned. 22.
All right. Well, you've learned that there is a Dralic in town, although he keeps to himself and nobody really bothers him. Because most people around here have a tendency not to be nosy and bother each other. But like he essentially, the people see him when he needs to get supplies and what have you. He hadn't talked to many people, and he sort of lives on what would effectively be the east side of town, um, in like an old abandoned research facility. It's not a
Cool.
very big one, but it's there. Over time, it's been ransacked. So yeah.
All right, well, we have our new member go hang out on the ship.
All right.
All right, we're not going to add him to the. Yeah, we're not going to add him to the biometrics so that he can like steal our ship or anything like that. But he's there. He's got his stuff there for when we leave. But Doctor, do you want to come with us to meet this guy?
He's like, oh well, I don't know, maybe.
Okay.
It's a research facility. It could have some cool things in it. You should come. Come on, it'll be fun. Otherwise,
all right, maybe we'll find that plant that doesn't die from peanut butter.
Right?
It's not the same plant.
I know.
Yeah, maybe we kind of get like you guys sort of like fighting against the wind and the cold and what have you. And there's a
No, we're gonna take local transportation, so it shouldn't be so bad.
there's not like a cab service.
No, but there still should be someone we can find. It's either that or I'm going to spend some of this money we have on building a motorcycle for us to ride on. Which I can do. What are they actually called?
Hovercycles?
There we go.
I'm trying to think. Didn't you
I
guys
left
have
that one
one
back
Hummer?
at the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you,
All right. Cool. Yeah.
because technically it's in police impound at this point. I would assume.
Corporate security impound in the League of Hellides. Yeah. So, um, yeah, you get so. Yeah.
Yeah, we buy a
There's no
hover
real.
cycle,
Yeah. There's no real
or
local
actually,
transportation.
yeah, I can build the hover cycle here because our shuttle has a tech lab. So,
Yeah.
so 1,850 credits later. Let me mark that down. We have a hover cycle, and I will put it in my inventory. Quick, let's get on this and drive over to that dude's house.
Right.
Okay, I'll drive.
Oh, you want to drive? All right, make that drive.
Well, just you get just driving from point A to point B isn't too hard. So you manage to make it there, and you're looking at the place, and it has definitely seen better days. It's kind of like it's clear that it's fairly clear that there's parts of it that are not in operation because there only seems to be power in a very small portion of this place.
Hey, our space station actually looks better than this place.
Yes.
So, you want me to go knock on the door?
Yes.
I go knock on the door. Whatever looks like a front door.
Yeah, you don't get an answer at first.
Well, let's try the universal cop knock.
All right.
Let's see. That would be this one. Nope. They're not afraid of that knock. They're like, well, now I'm definitely not answering the door.
Um, it takes you a while, but after a while of like banging on the door, like an unreasonably long amount of time, finally, finally there's a voice that comes over a speaker like, "What do you want? Go away."
Shorthorn sent us. Yay!
I told me. Let's see. He's like, I think he's like Scorf Shorthorn.
The
If I
one and
didn't
only.
It's like if I didn't owe him. And it's like the door, like you hear a buzzing sound and the door unlatch. Like
Kib, keep your hands where they can see. Doctor, try to remember that as well.
the doctor couldn't come with you on the motorcycle because it only seats two.
Right. I don't know. All right, same goes for you. Don't pull any guns unless he shoots first.
Like
All right.
it takes
Doo-doo-doo-doo.
you it takes you a bit of like walking to like you have to go through a couple of hallways and doorways to get to the spot where maybe like
Right.
there's the occasional annoyed like direct like if you start to turn the wrong maybe an annoyed turn the other way. Right. No, your other right.
You should put like arrows on the floor to direct people in the correct way to go. I'm just trying to help you with upgrades that might make this place even cooler to live in.
I was just about to say I activate my fucking comms unit so that the arrows appear on the floor for the right path.
Yeah. Right.
A little bit too much star field. Okay. So anyway,
But you do eventually make it to a room. It looks like it was and possibly still is. Um, it looks like it's been used for as a medical facility at some point. Like maybe they were doing like drug research or something in here. And
human
but but
mutilation.
the place has been draped up with like black like cloth, with sort of like various symbols that mean entropy, or death. There's like black candles that are lit around, and standing in the middle of the room standing in the middle of the room, well, actually standing at one of the tables, looking down intently at something, is a green-skinned alien with a long, bumpy head, and 3 fingers, 3 toes, sort of webbed, and wearing like a turtleneck, and he's wearing like a pair of like workman like standard sort of like labor work pants or whatever, like a turtleneck, and maybe he's wearing like a um, something. Maybe he's just kind of like yeah. I think that's probably about. And maybe he's got a couple of scars on him, a couple of visible scars on his hands and what have you. And he's like, whatever you need, be quick about it and get out of here. I don't much care for visitors.
Well, that's why we come to forget. So, Shorthorn sent us. We have need of your skills. We have someone that needs to come back from the other side.
Come back from the other side. And he gives like this sort of like, he just kind of like scoffs and laughs. It ends in a cough, and he's like, "You're asking me to bring someone back from the dead. You don't know how much." He says, "You don't understand. Entropy and death is the natural order of things. Things die. Everything dies.
Yes.
Everything
Well,
complete. Everything dies in this world. Bringing something back is resisting the natural order of things."
but we were told that you were the only one who could possibly do this feat. Shorthorn
And
said you were the best.
like,
I've got to say, hold back. I don't mean to interrupt, but the design of this room, the ambiance you have in here is so beautiful. Anyway, so Mike, the relation's kind of weird. It's
Cousin.
a cousin, relative of my mother. You know how I work. You guys, we got relations all over the place. So she was shot. She's useful to my organization and what we're doing, and she wasn't supposed to die. I made a bad choice, but anyways, we would like her to come back if you don't mind, please, sir.
he's, he's like, if I were to just try to bring back every person that walked through the door who has need, every person that someone says I have a need for. Actually, he's like, and your kind have more relations than you even have need for. He's like you, uh, yeah, sense motive here, both of you.
No. How about a sleight of hand instead?
Um,
Okay, I guess I know
Philip,
stuff.
Kib has once again pissed off the person you need to talk to. Like, he's gone from unfriendly, because he's gone from unfriendly here to
Annoyed.
hostile. Well,
Mm.
he's gone from indifferent to unfriendly. He's like, I don't. He's like, what? He's like, you. He goes, and he kind of looks at you, Kib, and he's like, he just kind of shakes his head and he looks at you, Philip, and he's like, hey, and he's like, why? He goes, you're a Librian. You understand death is part of the natural cycle of things. Why doesn't this one?
I'm a Librian. I get a second chance after death with a pretty decent chance, proving that death is still temporary.
He's like, even undead are eventually destroyed and find their final end.
And that's what I'm asking you to do, is to make them undead, so that eventually they will rejoin your entropic ways. Just
He's
as
like,
I will one day do the same.
he's like, give me a diplomacy check here.
Another one? Okay.
Yeah, Kib already fucked his up.
Alright, well, I figured a 30 was pretty fucking high, so let's see. That's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad.
Well, you didn't make him any angrier anyway. Well,
Right? I
actually,
shouldn't
yeah.
have. That's, well, you're the one making up the rules.
Let's see.
You're fine. Let me see. Isn't there something that would make this exchange worth it from your perspective?
What if
You
we kill
go.
somebody to replace the life? That balances it, doesn't it?
He's like,
Well, if
Kill
that was the
somebody
case,
else.
we've already killed enough people to replace this one life.
he's like, I think he's like,
I will look at Kib after he says that, though, and go, shh. And then I'll look at Ha, and I'm like, Ha, remind him. And Ha
he's like,
just kind of like, and you see the glimmer of the hilt of his gun.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
he just,
now back to you, esteemed
he,
colleague.
he just looks at you. He's like, you want this person. How long have they been dead?
Gosh, let's see. 15, 7, 20, 24 days today.
No wonder you didn't go see a priest.
Yes. Not only
He's
that, a Malabrian. Becoming a Borai has its advantages.
like, that's what you wish. 100,000 credits with a 10% deposit, and you must leave the body with me. I will send for you when it's done. It will take a while.
Kib. I lean down and I whisper in Kib's ear, and I'm like, pray to whatever gods you listen to or obey, because we're going to need their help for this. Triune. Would you take 10% on 75,000?
No.
Okay.
100,000, 10% down.
Hmm.
You're asking me to go against a lifetime of understanding, knowledge, and wisdom gained both through my people and my studies.
Just a sec.
And it will require I call in some favors. I'll need some capital for that.
Hmm. That is a lot of capital, even at 10% down payment. One moment while I confer with my colleague that pisses you off. I